What's up, dudes? Buddy, you're not gonna be born again, dude. I'm not sure what you're talking about, bro.
Unless you accept the price anyway.
How do you get a girl to admit she loves you? You don't need to get her to admit that she loves you. She would just admit that she loves you. Like, she would just say, Michael, baby, I love you. But, dude, how are you gonna get a couch to talk? I'm not sure how you're gonna make that happen, dude. Good luck with that. Yeah. You paid the girl. Oh, there you go, Donovan. What's up, dude? All right, so let me scroll through here. What's up, Amon? Kyle Larson fan. Mike, Donovan, Millsy, Buddy, Major. What's up, dude? Where the hell have you been, Major? Let's see. Cam, what's up, dude? How's it going? All right. Do yours first. You hear Preston laughing? Well, you're supposed to. He's part of the stream today, guys. So, here we go, guys. This is the time you've all been waiting for, I guess, maybe, possibly. So, this is the Q&A session, dudes. So, Preston's behind me here. And, you know, he's basically just going to ask me the questions that you guys asked him to ask me when he came up here to Ohio. This is the only reason why he came up here. No, I'm just playing. He came up here just...
Yeah, just for the Q&A.
Just for the Q&A, man. Just for the Q&A. You've been very busy. I'm sorry. You shouldn't be too busy for me, though, Major, you know? Cam said, hey. Wow, did y'all plan to wear blue? Actually, no. We just happened to both wear blue. So, I have no idea. Like I put in the description, guys, I have no idea what the questions are. I haven't seen the questions, so my answers will be completely candid. And I guess, you know, I have no idea what the questions are, so I had no way to prepare for answers or anything like that. So, you're sorry. It's all right, dude. I still love you, man. I still love you, man. All right, guys. So with that said, let's go ahead and get this thing started.
All right.
Did you shave or are you losing hair? Yes, I did shave. I was letting my beard grow, and I had to shave it because it was getting annoying. All right, so Preston's going to go ahead and start asking some of these questions, guys.
All right. What is the most embarrassing thing that has happened in your life so far?
The most embarrassing thing? Damn, that's a good question. I'm trying to think of something embarrassing that's happened. I don't know. I mean, the most recent thing that comes to mind was when during my brother's wedding reception. So I was like I was the ring bearer essentially because I was the best man. So I brought the rings down with me to the actual reception, and and so even though we had gone through all the motions beforehand to know like the trigger point for when I was supposed to give the rings to one of the little boys that was supposed to come out and put them, like, basically put them on this platform, I zonked out, and so like someone had to kind of be like, yo, you gotta give them the rings. That was probably, I mean, I would say that's probably like the most recent embarrassing moment. I just can't think of anything like from long ago that would be considered like embarrassing. If something comes to mind, I'll mention it, but I can't really think of anything offhand.
Okay, the second part to that question is, what is the weirdest moment that you've had in your life?
The weirdest moment. Well, I guess one of the weirdest moments in my life had nothing to do with me. It had more it had more to do with my brother. So I remember going to my brother had a girlfriend at the time who was giving birth to a child, and she had claimed that it was his, and then when we got there, the kid was like black or brown, and she was white and he was white. So that was probably the most, like, the weirdest moment in my life. I would have to say. It was like, I don't think this is your kid. Yeah. Can you guys hear okay? I think you can. Amon said to pull your chair up, but I mean, there's not really that much room. We're both sitting here in front of my desk. So.
All right, next question. Why does Baker not play Fortnite anymore?
That was the exact question I knew you were gonna ask. I told, "Hey mom, how's it going, Deborah? You think the room is crowded?" Yeah. So yeah, Preston. I told Preston before the stream. I said, "I guarantee you, there's gonna be one question that someone asks, and I was gonna point to him, or I was gonna tell him that I knew that that was the question when it came up, and so I knew people would ask about Fortnite." But so I don't know. I mean, the reason I just don't play Fortnite anymore is because I just kind of got bored with it. I mean, we played it a lot. I mean, I think we did a lot of grinding on Fortnite for a little while, but then I kind of got bored with it. And then, like, once they kind of got rid of, I think one solid gold went away the first time, even though I know it came back for a little bit. That's been part of it. Plus, part of it's just been like being out of town so much. That kind of makes it hard to play it, and I don't want to. The days I am here to do streams, I don't necessarily want to waste it playing Fortnite. So that's pretty much the reason why I don't do Fortnite. And because of the fact that no one ever... I mean, we usually don't end up with a lot of people in chat or watching the stream by the time we're nearing the end of our Fortnite sessions. So it's not a game that most people want to see. So those are the reasons why I don't play Fortnite anymore.
All right. Next question is, Baker, who was your first true love?
My first true love, so, I mean, I guess, so, I mean, technically I have to say, and this may, I don't know, this may sound weird, but I think technically I have to say it was my wife, because, you know, I had dated a girl for probably about 5-6 years. It was about 5 years, and we were off and on. And she just did things to just irritate me, and I just feel like, you know, if someone really loves you, they're not gonna do that kind of stuff. Plus she was a lazy bum, the way I look at it, and so I just feel like after that girl is when I met my wife, so I didn't really have anyone in between her and my wife. And you know, I found my wife, or we found each other. My mom actually introduced us, but I think, you know, the fact that we can make each other happy and no one like does things to piss each other off, you know, that kind of thing. I mean, basically that's, to me, that defines true love. At least one of the things that defines true love. I mean, you should be able to get along together and not worry about someone intentionally trying to push your buttons and stuff like that. And that's what that other girl used to do. Wait, you're cheating on Gamer? Actually, I'm cheating on my wife with Gamer. That's a better way to look at it. He's my PA side chick. He should know that. Gamer knows that. He's my PA side chick.
Yeah. All right. So our next question, you'll probably figure out who this is. What made you want to write code?
What made you want to write code? I mean, really, what made me want to write code was just my deep interest in computers. Early on, like I just. Actually, the one thing that got me into it was AOL, and it's really weird because back in the day, in the days of AOL 2.5, which probably no one here will remember at all, back in the days of AOL 2.5, they had certain chat rooms that you can go to, and essentially people had built these bots that would read the AOL chat window and essentially create a mechanism for people to take files or MP3s or any type of data and basically email them to in your inbox with the result of typing in a chat command to that person. And so once I saw something like that, I was like, oh, this is pretty neat. And I actually kind of got like a little involved in that just to try to see if I can put together my own type of bot. And I started messing around with Visual Basic code back then. It was VB6 at the time, and that was like one of the things that really started getting me interested in code. And not to mention, back then too, where I worked back then, they had a need for someone to actually, they wanted to make their website look a little bit better. And so I was like, hey, you know, I can learn HTML. Wait, oh, actually, I didn't mean to actually undo that. Sorry, dude. I didn't mean to unban you, Danny. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking to me, but you said Neymar. So yeah, so back in the they needed someone to work on the website, and so I was like, oh hey, that could be me. So then that's when I started learning HTML and stuff like that. I mean, CSS wasn't big back then, but I started learning HTML, and then that got me like they saw that I took interest in that, and then they helped get me trained on like a different programming language, and then from there like everything else I just kind of learned on my own as I grew in that industry. So, but I mean, really, the thing that got me involved was like I said, it all started with AOL and the illegal distribution of software and music.
All right. Our next question is, where did you go to college?
Where did I go to college? So I have some part-time college experience. I went to Cuyahoga Community College for like I don't know, like maybe a few semesters at the least. I specifically went there to take I took programming logic there. Actually, yeah, it was more than a few semesters. I took programming logic there. I took C++, so that's where I learned C++. But I already knew PHP before I took that class, so it helped me immensely because it's almost one and the same to an extent. But that's where I learned C++. I also took accounting, and then I took like a lot of math classes there because I sucked at math in high school. I just didn't really care about math in high school, so I took a bunch of stuff there. So I mean, really, I don't have like a college degree or like any type of other than a high school diploma. I've got a high school diploma. I don't have a college degree. I just took some college classes part-time to help advance my skill for my relevant field.
All right. Next question is, what is or was your favorite TV show, movies of all time?
Whew, I would say, I don't know. I would have to say the favorite TV show of all time would probably have to be something like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, man. I just love the Ninja Turtles, the original Ninja Turtles, back from like the late 80s, early 90s. That was one of my favorite shows. I was disappointed when I found out. I was disappointed when I found out that they were selling for a short period of time. They actually had the yellow like turtle van or whatever with all of the freaking seasons of Ninja Turtles in there, and they had a limited variety or limited number of them, and then I missed out on being able to purchase one. I was so pissed off about that because I really wanted it, but that was probably one of my favorite TV shows. That was probably the most favorite. I would say like The Shield would probably be my second favorite TV show, to not a kids TV show. As far as favorite movies, I would say it would definitely have to be the Oceans series, like Oceans 11, 12, and 13. I really like those a lot. Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I mean, a lot of Gone in 60 Seconds. Definitely, like, I got a handful of favorite movies that I like.
Don't forget the Matrix series.
And yeah, that's true, the Matrix series. So I mean, yeah. So I'm a fan of like a few different series. Oh, and Underworld. Underworld's another series I really like. Resident Evil. I love that series as well. So just a handful of different series that I like, though. I mean, I don't have a lot of favorite movies, but those I would say are all in there. Ocean's 8 just came out, yeah, but I don't know. It's to me that's not a movie theater watch. That's more of a Netflix watch, probably.
My Netflix and chill watch.
Yeah.
All right. So the next question is, what was your favorite game growing up?
Favorite game growing up?
Yes, favorite video game.
Honestly, I'd have to say, I would have to say my I would say I have three favorite video games growing up. The first one would be, and this is going to sound weird, but the first one would have to be Sim Tower, which was like a 16-bit game that they had available on Windows 95. It was when they first started coming out with simulation-based games, and it was basically, for anyone who doesn't know, it's basically basically a build game where you basically had to build a tower, and then residents would come visit the tower, and you had to find ways to dispose garbage and have clean water and all this other, and put restaurants in there and not disturb neighbors and all this crazy stuff. It was by far like one of my favorite sim games. And the second one would be Sim Copter, which again was a 16-bit Windows 95 game. That was just, it was pretty cool. Again, for if you don't know what it is, you could actually download those and play them online for free now, actually. But Simcopter was a game where you could basically, you flew a copter around a city, and your objective was there were certain missions that would come up, and you would have to accomplish, you would have to complete those missions to get points and advance further in the game. So basically, improve your leveling and whatnot to move on to other missions. Plus, they had this cool feature. They had this feature in the game that you could basically, you would basically go pick people up in your helicopter, and then you could drop them out of the helicopter, and then create basically a side mission to rescue them. So you could get like extra points for basically like injuring them and then picking them up and saving them, in addition to getting them, in addition to the original mission. So,
I played that in elementary school.
yeah, I love that game. It was just funny, especially because then you would drag them out of the copter and their hair would shoot up, like looking like, oh my god, and then they would drop and you'd hear them go, ah, and they would like actually make the sound and everything. It was such a fun game. And then my third favorite game, I'd have to say, growing up, would be Age of Empires. I just absolutely love that game. That's like you could do multiplayer on that game, but you basically would normally do like you versus like 7 other AI controlled players on various sized maps and various styled maps and stuff like that. And it's a real-time strategy game, and I just absolutely just loved everything about that game. And I was very excited to see that when Microsoft revitalized it and it came out on Steam and has regular updates and bug fixes and stuff like that now. So it was big back in like probably, I would say maybe the 2000s, early 2000s or something. And so it was nice to see that they actually revitalized it and are trying to make it better. So
aren't they coming out with like a legendary edition or something I heard about?
I don't know.
Okay.
It could be.
All right, so next question is ravioli, what's in the formioli?
What? Okay.
I think you can guess who asked that question.
That's Baby Marcus?
Yeah.
Yeah, go figure.
All
wow.
right.
Is that even a question?
No, not really. It's just a thing. All right, so I think you'll know who this question comes from.
Okay.
When was your first kiss? Did you pay for it like me?
Oh man. Wow, Luke. Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. Rip. No, my first kiss, God. Well, so I would say my first kiss. Well, see, I don't know. I didn't kiss that girl though, so I don't know. I don't know. I guess I would have to say like sometime after high school. To be honest, like there were some girls I liked before high school that was one of my cousin's friend, and we went on like a date or something like that, but I don't think we kissed at the end of that date, because I was just like, I'm kind of weird about that stuff. I just don't. The way I said it to her was like, look, I'm just trying to be respectful. I'm not like just out for one thing essentially. So I wanted to show her like, you know, this is more about us spending time together and stuff, and not just about, you know, what those things are usually about. But I don't know. I almost have to say like it had to be when I started dating my first like real girlfriend, true girlfriend, before I met my wife. So I don't know. I don't really know the exact time frame of that. To be honest, but like I said, I know that was probably after high. That was definitely after high school. I was out of high school, but she was still in high school when I started dating her.
All right, next question. Say I spontaneously gave you $1 million. You can spend it anywhere you want, but the catch is that you can only spend it on that specific thing and nothing else. What would you do with it?
I would say, honestly, like if it's suspended on something, I would almost say like I would spend it on my business. Like I would invest it into my actual business, and then use that business money for, you know, a variety of things. I mean, if that's not exactly the answer anyone was looking for, I mean, the only other thing I could think of would be like investing in stocks or something like that. You know, just to see what kind of profit could be turned from $1 million. I'm sure you could profit quite a bit from that. I know, boring answers, but I mean, that's the way I think nowadays, is everything's about the business.
Okay, next question is, what was the first sporting event you ever attended? Well, pro sporting event.
Well, actually, probably one of my first ones, I think, was, I want to say it may have been. I want to say it may have been. I can't remember if it was the last game. When the Browns were in Cleveland Browns Stadium still, but I know I had attended one before the Cleveland, like, I think it was still, no, it was Cleveland Browns Stadium then. So back when the Cleveland Browns Stadium was still around, before that one was knocked down, they rebuilt it and then eventually renamed it First Energy. So I remember, like, I think the game, it was actually a game against the Seahawks. That was when they still had what's his name, the dude was backing up the Andrew Luck on the Colts. I forget his name now, but the guy who proclaimed they were going to win the Super Bowl, and he ended up throwing the pick.
Matt Hasselbeck.
Hasselbeck, yeah. So he was still playing for them, and yeah, that was like, I think that was truly my first pro sporting event.
All right. Next question is, why did you start streaming posting?
Start streaming?
Yes.
I mean, so I started streaming because there was a couple of guys that I mainly watched originally on Twitch, and I was interested in, like, helping try to do something with their stream. Actually, there was 3 guys. So there was 2 guys I was interested in watching on Twitch, and then another dude who I kind of watched and you know, I chatted with outside of the actual live streams that he used to do. He had mods and other people that would be in the chat, and they would just basically just chit chat afterwards and laugh and just be stupid. But you know, those guys kind of inspired me to want to stream. And then when I started creating the Madden videos and doing the Madden sims, and I saw, like, during playoff times, like, how many views they were getting. They were getting at least 1,000 views, like, every single time I put a video up. And so I was like, okay, maybe I can do something with that. I also saw someone do, like, some simulations once or twice on Twitch, but, like, he never had anyone in his channel. And I'm like, well, maybe that means that either people don't want to see this, or he just doesn't have the audience to see it. And I knew that I already had, like, you know, a couple thousand subs, and I said, well, let me try my hand at doing the simulations and see what kind of, you know, response I get from you know, my community. So that's the reason why I started streaming, was because I felt that the simulations that we're doing were already successful, and I thought it would be a good idea to at least have that interaction with people, instead of just having people post comments on videos afterwards where it's kind of hard to react real time and all that stuff. So I'm glad I did it.
So this question is for both of us. It's,
okay.
What's our favorite type of music? For me, it would have to be, I like country, I like a little bit of rap, but I'm mostly into, like, 80s and 90s music.
Okay. Yeah, I'm into, my main thing is I like, my main genre would be, I want to say gangster rap, because I don't want to just say rap, because there's definitely a difference. But I would say mainly gangster rap, and, you know, my favorite is stuff from the mid to late 90s, because that's what I grew up listening to, and that's when Tupac, Snoop, Dr. Dre, all those guys were getting big. So that's kind of my go-to music, man. Every time I want to relive my past, every time I want to relive my past, I guess. No, it's a nostalgia. It has a nostalgia effect. So I mean, I just pop in. I got my Tupac on speed dial basically, and play some of that. So, what the hell is gangster rap? You got to Google it. It'll tell you. Like, who's an example? Tupac, Dr. Dre, Snoop, Eazy. Yeah, I mean Ice Cube. Geez, there was all those guys back from the mid 90s. I mean, a lot of those dudes. Yeah. Warren G did some a little bit. So.
Nate
Dogg, right?
All right. So the next question is for both of us.
Hold on. Let me answer. So, Gamer's brothers here, dude. Don't get in trouble, Ashton, by Gamer for being here, dude. Don't steal his thing. But he asked, what's your favorite brand of chips? I would say I don't really eat chips, but I guess I would categorize Triscuits as chips, possibly. But I really like Triscuits. Just about any brand, but my main one that I love the most is the cracked pepper flavored of Triscuits.
And I tried those, and they're good.
And with cheese it's even better. Like taking block cheese and just cutting it up and putting it on top of each cracker. Like, oh man, it's so good.
For me, it's Doritos sweet and sour. I mean, sweet spicy chili.
Oh, Mom asked, who was your first concert? Oh man, I don't really go to concerts, and I think I've only ever really been to one because I just don't go to concerts. Like, I don't know what it is. Even if I've seen Metallica come to town, and I thought about going there, but then I couldn't. My wife said no. I despise Metallica. They're Satan music or satanic music, whatever. So I didn't go because I want to go by myself. But I would say that, so the first concert, I guess, if you will, that I've ever been to was, we went to, I think we won tickets to it actually. It was God, way back. You're taking me back to like my childhood. It was sometime in the 90s. There was a radio station in Cleveland, 92.3, that did like a lot of different kind of music, but they were mainly known for hip hop and rap music, R&B, that kind of stuff at the time. And they had a concert. They had this thing where they would, if you won a thing, you would get 4 tickets to go to the Summer Jam. I think it was called Summer Jam at the time. And I think Maximilian was there. Honestly, I don't even remember necessarily who was there because I just don't think I really like cared that much. But we were just there. Me and my brother and 2 friends went there. And yeah, well, of course I remember the station, dude. Like that was like a prominent part of my childhood, was dialing into those stations and trying to be, because they used to do cool things where like you dial in and you would say, oh, can I, like, they would do like these countdowns, for example, like top 10 whatever, and you would dial in and say, oh, can I do like the number 5 song, can I announce the number 5 song? So they would record you doing it, and then there was a chance you could get played on the radio announcing the song. So I thought that was really cool. But we'd sit there like every single one of those countdowns, and me and my friend and my brother would be sitting there like dialing in, trying to get on the radio station. Yeah, so that was fun. But yeah, like I said, it was sometime in the, I want to say like maybe 90s, 96, 97, 98, somewhere in that gap. I'm not 100% certain, but I just remember we won tickets there. And actually the reason why I remember that one so succinctly as well is because we had this one friend who was a big dude, and I mean, like, he was a big dude. And 92.3, they would always advertise, they would have this commercial of this fat guy who would dance around in the commercial. He would just do like this little move, and when our friend was there, they came up to him and they were like, yo, dude, like, would you be willing to go up on stage and pretend like you're this guy? And he was like, he was so embarrassed that he just didn't want to go do it. I was like, dude, like, do it and just say like, yeah, I'll do it if you get us like backstage passes or some crap like that. But the dude was like, he was just like, no, I'm not gonna do it, and he just kind of chickened out. We were giving him shit about it, but that was like one of the reasons why I remember that, is because they approached that kid and even asked them. I was kind of like surprised that you would even ask someone that, but it was just kind of just an interesting situation to be in.
Did you go to a Game of Thrones concert too?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, I don't know, do you call that a concert? I mean, I guess. I mean, it was, yeah, we went to some Game of Thrones thing 2 years ago, I think it was, in Columbus at Nationwide Arena. They had the composer, the guy who wrote like the Game of Thrones music there, and they played all the different like soundtracks, if you will, from Game of Thrones live. So that was kind of neat too. But they promised a lot more than what was actually there, so I was kind of disappointed by that. And we had to sit there for an hour and wait. The show didn't start until an hour after it was originally supposed to start because of them being late or whatever the case may be. I remember that.
All right, next question is, why do you guys like WWE, and how did you guys get into sports in general?
You go first.
Well, growing up, I was always big on sports. My family, my mom, like, they always made sure I was out in the community, going to sporting events because they knew I loved it. What got me into WWE was my brother's dad. He would watch Monday Night Raw every Monday night religiously. and it's like I just love the sports entertainment aspect of it. Like, yes, I know it's fake, but you know, it's still cool.
All right. For me, so I don't remember exactly how I got into sports, other than I just like playing sports a lot in school, and like in high school, particularly, you know, we would go out with friends and go play like backyard football, more or less, with friends we knew from school on Friday nights after school. And you know, sometimes even on the weekend, we would arrange Thanksgiving Day games where everyone would come out on Thanksgiving Day and just have like a total free for all. You know, just pick teams when everyone got there type stuff. So those were the kind of things that really got me into sports. I kind of followed like Cleveland teams and stuff like that, like at a distance. I wasn't really into pro sports for a while, I guess. But I just like playing basketball and football and doing stuff to be active. As far as WWE is concerned, I think what got us into it is, I think our dad, and I really don't remember. I think my dad actually took us to a wrestling event when we were younger, and we had no idea what was going on. But my brother and I have always we've always loved to wrestle, and we've always watched. I think because of him, like we always watched like Superstars on Saturdays, like when we were growing up in the '90s and stuff like that. And so we were just kind of, I guess, semi-lifelong wrestling fans.
I've been a wrestling fan all my life. Like, yeah. All right, so now the next is like a rank kind of thing. This person wants us to rank our favorite to least favorite sports. I would have to say football is my favorite. Then would be hockey, baseball, basketball, and soccer. Those would be my top 5. My least favorite would probably be cricket.
Yeah, I'd have to say football, basketball, hockey. I'd probably have to put soccer or football, whatever you want to call it. And then I would put baseball like at the bottom of that list. What is cricket again?
It's basically baseball, but a different kind. All right. So next question is: do you want to be a cowboy, baby?
Do you want to be a cowboy? Is that from Gamer?
No.
God.
Not from Gamer.
No, I don't want to be a cowboy.
All right.
What the heck?
All right.
That's funny.
So, now these are some good questions. I saved the best for last. These are actually really good.
Okay.
All right. So number 1 is: have you been thinking about getting a new pet? If so, what would it be? And also, what would its name be?
No, I'm not thinking about getting any new pets. I mean, after we lost Leo, like I think we're done with pets for now. Probably, and I've said it to my wife before. It's just that anytime we think about pets, I'm like, no, until the ones that we have are all dead. Like, I wouldn't consider getting another pet again. There's really no. I mean, it's just more to take care of and more to feed and all that kind of stuff. So I think we're set with what we have right now.
All right. Next question is: when will the next GLDR reset be? Some people like Luke and JJ have way too much.
So as far as Gold Dragons, so I don't know when the reset will be, but one of the things that'll change going forward at some point, again TBD, with Gold Dragons is going to be, and I mentioned it to JJ as well in chat before, but one of the things that we'll do differently is there's going to be a cap on how much you can bet. So the reason why they have so much is because of the fact that they can, you know, obviously if you bet all of your Gold Dragons, then you basically win back double of what you bet. So if the cap is 20, then you can only ever win back 40. So or whatever, you know, I don't know what the cap would be, but essentially that would be what I would impose is some type of cap of what you can bet, and therefore that would limit how much you can win, and therefore no one would end up, unless they're really good at betting, no one would end up winning or getting like millions of gold dragons or anything like that.
Okay. Next question is, if you were to mod another person, who would it be and why?
I don't honestly. The only person I thought about modding, but then he's not even here, so it's kind of like, man. No, the only other person I thought about, I've given some consideration to modding, was JJ, and mainly just because like he's normally always at the streams and is interactive with people in the streams, and he seems like a cool dude. He seems very fun and just personable, and no one hates the guy. Everyone seems to get along with him pretty well, so I would think that he could be probably one of the next people with that opportunity.
All right, this is a really good question. Where do you see the channel the next year or two? What are some milestones you'd like to hit or new games you'd like to try?
So milestones, well, the first milestone would be, I think the first major milestone would be reaching for 10,000 subs. I mean, obviously it's been a huge challenge, just even hitting 6,000, and obviously it shows that when I don't stream frequently, obviously we start to hemorrhage subs quite a bit. But that would be one of the next milestones for me, would be hitting 10,000 subs. Some of the upcoming games that I think I'd want to play that would be new, would be something like, the next Division when it comes out. There's a Walking Dead game coming out that I would really like to play, if we can get enough people to play it together, which I think we should be able to. I mean, obviously obviously Madden 19's coming out. Crackdown 3 next year. But again, like, it's one of the things that's become very difficult in the channel is because of the fact that everyone is so sucked into sports simulations, or just sports in general, is trying to break away from that. So while I can spend time playing these other games like Fortnite or Division or any other type of game, the big thing in all that is just having the right audience to sit around and actually pay attention and watch those games being played. So, but that I think also is part of one of the, I would say, item number 3 on the list for trying to expand the channel, is trying to widen, and have a wider audience of people that would come to the channel for other things. Yeah, code stream, I don't know. I mean, we'll see about that, but is this my full-time job? No, it's not my full-time job. If it was, that would be awesome, but it's not. So I mean, again, and obviously most of you guys know, if you're subs already and you're frequent viewers of the channel, that you also have to keep in mind that a lot of, I have 3 days a week that I travel and stuff like that, so that also makes it very difficult. That was kind of thrown in there before the whole 10,000 sub thing, or after the 10,000 sub thing seemed more real, but because of stuff like that, that's kind of thrown a kink in there, or a wrench in the plans a little bit. So I mean, there's things that I keep trying to do to try to, like I said, to try to create some diversity in the things that we stream, so that way it's not just the same old crap all the time, because even I get bored of that. So that's just something that we just have to try and see how people respond.
All right, next question is, when's the next big stream, like 24-hour stream or giveaway?
I don't know. Like, I think the next big stream would be at 7,500 subs. Like, I feel like we have to hit 7,500 to warrant, like, I guess, another big stream. So whether it be, and I think I told people that I could do 24 hours for something like that as well, but obviously we're approximately 1,500 subs away from that, so we've got a ways to go before we can be talking seriously about a 24-hour stream,
And
or even a 12-hour stream for that matter.
are you gonna do a Madden 19 giveaway? I think we were talking about that at one time.
Yeah, I mean, we still got some time, so I would like to do one. I don't know when I'm gonna do it, but certainly sometime before it comes out, or when it's available for purchase.
All right. The next question is: other than a lunchbox, are there any more merch items you'd like to drop, like a shirt or a hat?
Yeah, definitely. I want to drop the shirt, man. I had started coming up with the design for the shirt with the Madden cheese on it. I don't know if John Madden would sue me for it or not, but I've talked to my wife about it as well. I've asked her to see if she can start pondering some ideas for T-shirt designs, because looking at a certain website I was looking at for doing the T-shirts, they make them on the cheap, and there are no upfront costs for me for them to produce them. So basically, it only costs me something really it costs you something when you buy the shirt, and then it gives me the option to have some amount of kickback as well. So it's a great opportunity to do something like that, and I look forward to doing something like that soon.
All right.
Wait, hold on. Okay, hang on one second. So Cam asking, what made you move to Ohio, and why did you pick that state to live in? Well, I didn't move to Ohio. I was born in Ohio. I thought you already knew that. I was born in Ohio, so I didn't move here.
That's why I didn't ask that question.
Cam.
He lives in Ohio.
Cam. I was born here. What's up, K-Dog? How's it going, dude?
All right. The next question is: in the future, will we ever do a meetup? It would be nice to finally see that shiny hit. I mean, it would be nice to see you in person as well as other people in our streams. Like Presty, Cammy, and Lukey. Cringe, I know. But seriously, and where would it be? In Ohio or somewhere in the middle of the U.S.?
Baker, what made you born in Ohio? You're such a dork. So let me tell you about the story, the birds and the bees. No. So meetups would be cool. I would like to do meetups, but as I've always said in the past, is that meetups are hard to do right now, especially with a lot of people in here being underage. So I will not ever meet up with anyone who's at least under the age of 18. Like that's just weird. Can I tell that's you? That was you, Aman? Okay, no, I didn't know that was you, to be honest. But that's the thing is that it comes down to people's age. I guess the Presley thing should have gave it away, I guess. But yeah, it comes down to everyone's age, man. Like, that's the reason why, invited Preston up, was because he's of age. And, the only other person I could see myself, like, connecting with in the future would be, like, Cam, potentially. I know Gamer said he wants to come up at some point in the future. But, again, like, you guys have to be of age for us to connect. So I don't really know, like, years from now, I'm not sure, like, will there even be a stream anymore? There's a lot of questions to be asked, I guess, in general, of what the future holds. So John would be another one too. I'd like to hook up with John. So yeah, I mean, I think it's too early to tell. I mean, other than what's in the immediate future, like I said, I mean, people I know who've expressed interest is Cam, Gamer, John. So those are three other guys who expressed interest in hooking up, who I'm willing to do that with because they're 18 or over. Well, Gamer will be in a couple of years or whatever. So.
All right. Next question is: how did you and Heather meet?
So Heather and I met. That's actually a pretty easy one. So Heather and I. That's the softball question there. Heather and I met through my mom, actually. So she used to work with my mom. My mom hired her to do like mainly marketing, but then also accounting related stuff because that was what she was trying to major for at the time. She was going to Cleveland State when we met, so she was still in college. She actually has a bachelor's degree, so she's smart, possibly smarter than me. I don't know, but yeah. So my mom, my mom was telling me about this girl at work that she knew. And I was like, okay. And so She said that she was trying to reach me on this. There was a website back in the day, and I think it may still be there, called Plenty of Fish. And my mom was telling me that Heather was trying to reach me on this website, but the reason I couldn't see her reaching out to me was because I had a certain filter on for age. It was age restricted, so you had to be over a certain age, or at least a certain age or over, to contact me. And so my mom one day gave me her info, like her phone number, and then I remember calling her up just one day out of the blue, and and she was like playing some type of video poker or some dumb shit on her phone or something. And then I was like, I don't know, like after that we talked once, and then we arranged for a date, like I think that same call. Yeah, I'm pretty much, the rest is history. I mean, that was, I called her up, and then we went on a date, and she can tell you, if you ever have a Q&A with her one day, she can tell you about how she got in my car, and I had no heat in my car, and it was the middle of winter, and we had arrangements to go to Texas Roadhouse, and we went there. It was too busy, so then we ended up having to drive all the way back to the other side of the city, and our first date was at that was our first date. Our first date was at Pizzazz, which is like some pizza place that's just like low key, like kind of upscale, I guess, that has calzones and other cool stuff. But yeah, so I mean that was the first time we literally met face to face. But ultimately how we got hooked up was through my mom. She gave me the contact info to reach out to her. So maybe one day you'll go visit Preston and his mom. Maybe.
Right, so the next question is, when will we see a baby Baker?
When we see a baby Baker, I have no idea. I mean, there's stuff going on now, and I think most people who are close or ask questions and spend time talking to me about it, I'm pretty open about it, about what's going on. But my wife has some like health complications, if you will. Nothing necessarily nothing life-threatening, as far as we know right now, but she does require some back-related surgery. So so that's part of the reason why it's not already in progress. We've been talking about it for at least a couple of years now, but part of having a child requires making sure that you're financially well off, or at least capable of having the money to raise a child. You don't want to bring up your kid and then be struggling to pay the house bill, or the mortgage and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot that goes into that. There's a lot of planning that goes into it, but we think we're ready. And again, once he gets through this whole back surgery situation and all that stuff's cleared up, then it'd possibly be after that. So I would say we probably have about another year or two would be my guess.
All right. So the next question is, has Preston been eating you out of house and home since he's been up here?
No. Final answer. Did I see your question? What was your question? Why the heck was that your question? Or I'm not sure, like, what was your question?
It was basically asking do I look like Boogie 2988 or whatever.
Okay. I have no idea what the hell that is. So I don't know, dude. I don't know the answer to your question there.
Go ahead, tell all the good people how healthy I've been eating while I've been up here.
Preston's been eating. He's been eating my lunch for lunch. We've been eating chicken, like chicken breast basically, and rice. That's been our lunch primarily for the past few days. So that's been good.
And then tomorrow's the big cookout.
Yeah.
Last question. Can we both have a chugging contest with an Angry Orchard? My answer is no. Because I have promised my mother that I would never drink around her. So that's really the only reason why I say no.
Okay.
She said if I was to ever drink, don't drink around her. So I'm going to keep that promise at least.
All right.
Any questions for me?
When me and Chuck are 18, can we come down? Dude, Chuck might be dying from cancer at that point, K-Dog. So I have no idea, dude.
Yeah.
I should have a chugging contest with myself. Make her click off. What the heck? What? So who else? Oh, what was? Let's see. Buddy asks, what would you change about your YouTube history and personality? I don't know, dude. Like,
no more sports sims.
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of hard to say. I mean, I don't think I would change anything about it just because, you know, it kind of is what it is. I don't have any regrets about what I've done and what I did to get to like how many subs I have. I mean, it was my passion essentially at the time. It's what I wanted to do. It's what made the most sense to me. It seemed to have, you know, again, it had a pull with a certain community, a certain fan base. Apparently a lot of people, or quite a few people on YouTube, were looking for some similar content like that. So, you know, that's what it is. I mean, so I have no regrets about any of the past of like the channel or anything about the channel for that matter. What was the other part? Oh, the personality wise, I don't know. Like, I think you're born with a certain personality for a reason. I don't think there's really anything I would change about my personality. I mean, for me, like, I can be pretty like reserved.
Screen froze.
But the camera went off on me again. All right. That's just the camera that froze. Let's see, that fixed it. There we go. All right. So yeah, I don't think there would be anything I would change about me personality wise. I just, like I said, I feel like everyone kind of has, you know, they kind of are who they are for a reason. So yeah.
Mom, I don't know. You'd have to ask Baker that.
Well, she was. Yeah, can I come visit you, Baker, Preston, and I? I mean, sure.
It's fun. You'd have a great time up here, Mom.
You could help us. You could help us with if we have any more down branches and stuff in the backyard.
Yeah, that was fun today.
Preston, you know, guys, look, yeah, you guys think it's all fun and games coming up here to visit me, but dude, this guy here, he was helping me. We had like a mild storm, which is crazy, and it knocked down one of these tree branches that was basically the size of a small tree, and it took out like 2 other tree branches on 2 of my other trees that went down. And we spent practically all morning. I was using the chainsaw hacking this thing up, and Preston was pulling all the branches out of there and everything and putting them in piles and crap, and then was push mowing later in the afternoon to help me get the yard cleaned up for the party tomorrow. So you guys think it's all fun and games if you come up here, but I want to put your butts to work.
Yeah.
But all right, so let's see. So K-Dog asked, Baker, were you a stud in high school? No, I don't think so, dude. I will say this though. I still feel a sense of like pride in being able to say this, that literally sometime in high school some girl had come up to me and was like talking to me, and I think she was actually interested in me. She was like asking me questions and stuff, and I was just kind of like I felt bad because it's like I wasn't really like attracted to her and the way she looked, and I was kind of like, I kind of just like put her off. Like I was just like, oh yeah, okay. I was like, you know, whatever. And actually I don't. And I kind of looked at it back after the fact. I kind of went back to myself and I'm thinking, you know what? That girl was actually like just trying to be nice, and I was kind of a dick, and like I never saw that girl ever again. So I was just like, I feel so bad. So if you happen to come across my stream sometime and that was you, like, I'm so sorry. I never meant to do that. I never meant to be an ass. But I was just like, I didn't realize it until like after it was over. I was just like, why is this girl talking to me? I thought maybe someone put her up to doing it. Like this is some sort of trick or something, even though she was like coming off as very just casual and friendly, but I was still like confused at what was happening. So I don't know, but that was, you know, so I wouldn't say I was a stud, but I will say that at least I had a girl approach me and try to talk to me and possibly, you know, wanted more than just a conversation. So,
all right, next question is from Cam. Baker, if you could adopt one of your subs, who would it be?
oh God,
it would be me.
If I could adopt one of my subs, honestly,
Baby Marcus.
No, I mean, that was where I was thinking. Honestly, it would be Luke. And I mean, honestly, and the reason why is because, dude, Luke is, I don't know, like, honestly, like, if I had a kid, like, I would want my kid to be like Luke. And that, I know this may sound weird, but, like, Luke's just a smart dude. Like, even though, like, he did what he did with the stream, you know, bygones, let bygones be bygones. You know, Luke's just a smart dude. I mean, you know, he knows his stuff. You know, even though he's a NASCAR fan, that doesn't bother me at all. But he's just like a good kid. Like, there's nothing aside from, you know, again, with stream related stuff, there's nothing that he's ever done that's like really like rubbed me the wrong way. He's, you know, he stands up for himself. He doesn't just back down. You know, like I said, I like the intelligence that he has and his ability to just like, if you point him in a direction like, oh, hey, read this, hey, read that, like he'll actually do it and pay attention and be engaged and that kind of stuff. Like I love that about him. So I feel like that would be my kid that I would want to adopt. And he's not a kid. Preston's not a kid. So and it's, I think it would be a weird to adopt a 29-year-old kid, right? So that would be a little odd. But you know, Luke, you know, like I said, I mean, just because of his qualities, man, I think it's good. He has a bedtime. Yes, he's an adamant. I go to bed at 10 p.m. every day. I wake up at a certain time every day. Like he's very regimen based. So that's awesome.
You have any questions for me, sir?
I thought you would want your kids like me. No, definitely not, dude. If my kids ended up being like you, I might have to kill myself. No, oh god, I have no idea, dude. You're kind of bad, dude. Like you need to get your
Luke
crap
said,
together.
Wait, what? I told him in Discord. He's like, wait, what?
Let's see. So I don't have any prepared questions, but I could probably ask some. So let me ask you this. I guess I'll ask you one of the same questions that someone just asked that they just asked me. So if you could adopt any sub from the channel, who would you adopt?
Who would I adopt? Baby Marcus. He's so funny, man. It would definitely be Baby Marcus.
Wow, this has been an hour. Holy crap! I didn't think it was gonna last this long. Yeah, you're right. You had a lot of questions. Baby Marcus, look at that.
Definitely.
K-Dog says, Preston, do you feel so good?
I feel alright.
Here's another question. Kind of a softball question. Did you have fun about Cedar Point or fun at Cedar Point, and what was your favorite ride at Cedar Point?
I had fun. The unfortunate part, you know, being that I am kind of a bigger size, I couldn't get on 3 of the rides. But my favorite part was just hanging out with somebody that I had never met before. You know, getting to meet a new person, talk about life. And my favorite ride was definitely Maverick, because you were scared to shit on that ride.
Yeah, that was my first time, and I was like, I just wasn't sure what to expect. So that was genuine, original reaction.
Yeah, that ride was awesome.
Yeah, Maverick was fun, and then we went to go on it again, and it was broken down it was down for maintenance, so that sucked. Amon asked, Preston, which cat is your favorite?
Maxwell.
Yeah, he's a cuddly cat.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't.
Chester would be a close second. Bailey's kind of mad about me for something.
Wow, he said it better be Chester.
Nope, it's Maxwell.
Yeah, Maxwell's just he's just very cuddly, and he'll just walk up to you and rub against you. I mean, he likes belly rubs. He's very, very open and very just trusting of just about anyone. And sometimes and again, that doesn't translate well for cats, but in life, like those are the things that you need to watch out for in life, though, is being too trusting. But either way, he's very trusting of just about anyone who he comes across. So yeah, Maxwell is cuter too. Dude, shut up, man. Shut up, dude. Maxwell's not cuter. I mean, Maxwell. So Maxwell. I mean, he could be somewhat cuter, but he's also younger. You have to keep in mind that Maxwell's like 2 years old, and Preston's or not Preston. Chester's like 12. I mean, there's quite a difference, you know. As they get older, their color starts changing of their fur a little bit. They also seem to get bigger heads. Maxwell's always had like this small head, and he had a small head for the longest time. I never thought it was gonna get bigger. It was like the size of like a little rock for like the longest time, but eventually it did get bigger. So, have you guys argued about football yet? That's what K-Dog asked. No,
not yet.
No, we haven't really.
We're really we were supposed to start talking about something that we're gonna be working on for the channel, but we haven't gotten to it yet. So we're hoping to do it this weekend before I leave.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we haven't talked much about. I mean, honestly, there hasn't really been much sports-related stuff that's come up. I mean, we were watching like some movies and stuff like that, and we were watching some World Cup action for a little bit here and there. But mostly, we've just been doing a variety of things to keep busy. So we haven't really had much time to really just chit-chat about stuff like that. Ooh, that can be the subscriber thing. What?
Next question.
So what is your favorite type of food to eat?
So many. Anything my mom cooks, like her cooking is like so good. Like, yeah, anything she cooks is really good. So I would say anything homemade.
Okay. What about what's your favorite type of meat to eat?
Steak.
Okay. Any particular type of steak?
Sirloin.
Okay. Good answer. Good answer. I love sirloin. What about favorite? What's your favorite vegetable to eat?
Carrots. Love
Okay.
Carrots. What did mom ask?
Stupid. K-Dog. No, she just said good answer, but that was a little bit ago. K-Dog says Preston, Cardi B or Khloe Kardashian.
Cardi B.
Wow, weird questions.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Ahmad asks, what did you want to be when you were a kid?
A sportscaster. Never got to fulfill that dream, but you know, I've always wanted to. That was my number one goal. Like ever since I was small, was be a sportscaster. I just couldn't go to school for it. It was just too much work. Like I don't like writing. I just like speaking. And in order to be a sportscaster, you have to write down stuff, take notes and stuff. And I wasn't into that.
Yes, would you still want to do it?
Yeah. It's kind of sad that I still want to do it, even though I don't want to write stuff down and stuff. Yeah.
All right. What hasn't been asked yet? What's your favorite? What about me? What did I want to be when I was a kid? Honestly, I don't really remember. I mean, I didn't know what I wanted to be until I was in. I didn't know what I wanted to be until I was in high school, and some friends of mine introduced me to PCs. Like when I got my first like PC and stuff like that. And learned how to do stuff like install Windows and reinstall Windows and format hard drives and crap like that. Like I knew I wanted to do something with computers because it was just extremely exciting to me to be able to have that type of power and control and capability. And for some reason I just thought to myself, like, this would be a phenomenal skill to have in the future. I don't know why I thought that way, but I just did. And so once I had some friends that were nice enough to help show me like a lot of different things just because they were helpful to me when I had issues with my computer. They showed me all the things that they did, and then I was doing the things they were doing, and then I would spend time looking for, you know, other things that I could do. So like I said, I really didn't know until I was in high school and I had some of my first experiences with PCs that I knew what I wanted to do. I don't know that I necessarily thought like, oh, I want to be like a software developer or anything like that. I certainly did not like think. I never thought that was going to happen. It's not that I didn't think it was going to happen, but I was never thinking, oh yeah, I was going to be a software developer. It just happened. I just kind of fell into it. What's the most disgusting thing both of you ate, like ever in our life? Anything alive? Oh God, no.
Worm.
You had a worm?
Yep. When I was a kid.
Damn, bro.
And to answer your question, K-Dog, I would play for the Eagles. Even though they did beat us in the Super Bowl, I would much rather play for them.
Would you rather play for the Ravens or the Steelers? I'd rather be dead than play for either of those teams. I'd rather just be a free agent. What's the most disgusting thing both of you ate?
Definitely worm.
Honestly, peas and lima beans.
What? That stuff is good, man.
I just can't stand either of them. They're just so nasty. Oh, also, I would say another disgusting thing is whipped cream. Ugh. I can't do it.
Worms are good. They're good in protein.
Wait, did Preston say it was good? Yeah, peas and lima beans. He said peas and lima beans were good.
The worm was good, too.
Oh, God, dude. Are you kidding me? What?
I'm not joking.
Oh, God.
Sick. I was with my dad at the time. And I got dared to do it, so I was like, I'll do it.
Wow. He went for the triple dog dare.
Yep.
Like, no, he just had a Jeremy once. No.
No, because I double dog dared this person. They're like, you know what? I'm going to arrest it on you. Triple dog dare. Like, yeah. Any more questions for me?
When did you first realize that you were a Patriots fan?
Honestly, the first time I became a Patriots fan was in 1996.
What's up, John?
When they played the Green Bay Packers in the Super Bowl. When they had Drew Bledsoe, Willie McGinnis, Curtis Martin,
Amon, you're so stupid. He says, give Baker a worm live.
Nah. I've been a Patriots fan most of my life. I mean, I'm not going to say, it was Tom Brady. Tom Brady made me become a Patriots fan because it wasn't Tom Brady.
Selena Gomez or Ariana Grande? Ooh. I'd take
Ariana, though.
Yeah, I think I lean towards her, man. Honestly, I'll tell you what. This is I swear to God, and like I don't know why my wife would back me up on this, but I told her so my wife used to watch. She watches, like, she's a fan of Disney Channel crap, and she used to watch that show with her, and like that there was some other she was on some show like with was it Victorious or some weird show like that? Like,
that was on Nickelodeon.
Was it? Well, then maybe that wasn't.
It was on
Are you sure?
Yeah, Victorious.
Then maybe it was a different one. I'm pretty sure it was on Disney Channel though.
No, Selena Gomez was on Disney. Ariana Grande was on Nick.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh well, maybe shit. All right, well then, so maybe it was it because she always came in there with, she was like the redheaded dim-witted girl, and I was like, once I saw like the way that she talked and acted and different things they did, I was like, I told her, I'm like, look, this girl right here, I'm like, she's gonna be like the next big thing. I swear to God, like if she goes on her own, she's gonna blow up. And then sure enough, like shortly after that, I could have, well, Sam and Cat, I don't think it was that. She was on some other show, but I don't think that was it.
She was on
yeah.
Victorious first, then they did Sam and Cat.
Because Sam and Cat, I don't think she was like the dim-witted girl or anything like that. She was that on Victorious though. Yeah. She was the airhead, like, oh my God, oh, why am I so stupid, you know? But I just thought, like, once I saw like all the different things that they had her do, I was like, oh yeah, she's gonna be the next big thing if she goes solo. Baker says gamer or cam, dude. What?
Ew.
What do you mean? That's gross. What? It says Funville, right?
Yes, Funville.
Preston shirt says
Squirrels.
Funville.
Richmond Flying Squirrels.
Not Funnyville, Funville.
Yep.
With two N's, I guess.
Yep.
Something vile. What? That doesn't say something vile. All right.
Any more?
She was also the airhead on Sam and Cat.
Yeah, she was. She
All
was
right.
starting to get away from it on that show, though.
Like I said, I didn't really watch them, but for what I did see of the show, I was pretty impressed with her acting. Preston, don't forget to bring back Chester. Shut up, dude. He doesn't even like Chester.
I don't like Chester, bro. I'm Team Maxwell all the way, dude.
Okay. He switched sides, John. So what do you got to say about that?
Team Maxwell.
Who you asking? Who you asking, Millsy? I'm not sure what you're asking. Who what? Who dat? All right. Let's see. Favorite color.
I have so many, but if I had to pick one, it would be red.
Okay. What was the worst Christmas you've ever had, and why?
Worst Christmas.
Baker lies. You watch all the shows with Ariana Grande. Nah, man.
I'd say the worst Christmas was back in maybe 2011 or 12, and I couldn't go home because the group my mom was living in had bed bugs, so I couldn't go visit family and stuff because I didn't want them to get it. And I remember I sat up the whole night before crying because I wanted to be with family and I couldn't.
Okay. What about what's the worst present you ever got for Christmas?
Honestly, with my family, I never got a bad present.
Okay. All right. Baker, gamer, or me? Stop it, dude. That's gross, dude.
My family always made sure I had what I wanted. Like they didn't spoil me, but they made sure like I had stuff to play with. So yeah.
Okay. Baker, favorite Blue Jackets player of all time. I mean, it's got to be Bob, dude. It's got to be like anyone else who would be considered as a favorite was either was traded away.
For me, as a Senators fan, my favorite's always been Daniel Alfredson. Up until now, it's Eric Carlson, but if he gets traded away, it's gonna suck. So.
Have you ever gotten any gift that you didn't like?
Yes. Christmas sweater.
Christmas sweater?
Yes.
What, did you get it as a Christmas gift?
Yes.
Well, that was your bad Christmas gift. Duh. Let's see.
I actually like the ugly Christmas sweaters now, though. Back then, I didn't like
I have a Browns ugly Christmas sweater.
I love them things now, man.
And I got one for my wife too. She has one too. She's got actually, it's like a dress, like ugly Christmas. So it's not a sweater; it's an ugly dress.
The goat.
But who? Anyways, I'm not gonna answer that, K-Dog. That's weird. So I would say for me, my worst present ever for Christmas would have to be like. So I remember like back in the day, my stepfather's family would come over for Christmas, and we would exchange gifts. But like our parents would end up getting them like these, like freaking amazing gifts. Like every single time they would get like, oh, you got a dollhouse, and you got this, and you got that. And there's these lavish gifts and stuff like that. And then like the one year, they got again. It was like they gave them all these gifts, and then we were like, it was time for us to get our gifts, and then our uncle like hands us this package. You open it up, and inside it's a deflated ball, and he like literally just gave us a ball for Christmas that was deflated. It's like you couldn't even fill it up. Like that was like by far the worst Christmas present ever.
Tom Brady, is that
Yeah.
you?
Also with a dude, yes, Millsy, it'll happen. It's just taking its good old sweet time. What do you think the Browns' records will be this season? I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. We'll see what happens.
Not 0-16.
Gamer, you're stupid. It's ugly because it's got your face on it. Oh.
I would definitely say they're definitely not going 0-16. If they do that again, then something is very wrong.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Will you stream Fortnite Season 5? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't count it. Oh, Playoff Bob? What are you talking about, dude?
What do you say, Playoff Bob is trash?
Dude, the thing is that Bob can't, dude, he can't do everything, okay? I mean, that's the thing. He does a lot for his team. If you look at his stats compared to some other, I would say equally good goalies. I mean, his stats are good, man. Like, the dude knows how to play, but when you don't have defense or guys can get back on time and help your goalie out, I mean, you're gonna end up in situations like that. It's a team effort. It's not just one dude. Let's see. I'm trying to go back and see. Giselle or Scarlett Johansson. See, I would say Scarlett just because I know Giselle dates Tom, so or married to Tom. F that. Once I found that out, I was like, I hate her.
Even with Giselle being married to Tom, I would say Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson is sexy as hell.
Let's see.
Definitely Scarlett Johansson.
Buddy as hashtag Free Carlson.
Hashtag Fire Milnick.
Let's see.
Hashtag Keep Carlson.
Baker,
Hashtag
would you rather have Home Slice or Tom Brady living with you for a year? What the fuck? That is like so out of nowhere. It's so random. I mean, honestly, I think I would rather live with Tom Brady, because then I would be like, yo, man, what's your diet plan, dude? Hook it up.
Like, did you actually deflate them balls, bro?
Yeah, exactly. I could ask him all the important questions, and I could stream. We could stream together. Yeah. Preston is a Senators fan? Yes, he is.
Yep, sure am.
Baker, read my last unretracted message. What the heck?
Sucks being one right now, though, with all this stuff.
Oh, where's the weirdest place you've slept?
Weirdest place I've slept. In a closet, actually. Yeah, it was during a storm when I was living at a group home when I was 13. It was a tornado warning. I actually fell asleep in the closet.
I don't know. Weirdest place I've ever slept? I don't know. Like, I would, like, probably on the floor. I mean, I don't know. Like, I just, we used to, I don't know if I consider it weird, but when I was younger, when my, our cousin would come over, my brother and I and our cousin we would take like chairs from the kitchen and put them together like somewhat, and then throw blankets over the top of them and stuff like that, and make like, you know, indoor tents and stuff like that, and we would just sleep underneath. Actually, that. Just
I take that back. One night when I was a kid, I slept in the bathtub.
It wasn't full, was it?
No.
I once fell asleep in the bathroom until my mom noticed I went missing. What the heck? How do you fall asleep in the bathroom? Were you on the toilet?
I actually almost did that too one time.
You're just sitting there like, he's just sitting there, and he's all of a sudden he's like, he's like,
really?
Will you ever marry Gamer? I told you, dude. He's my side chick from PA. That's not possible. What other questions? Does anyone else in the stream have any other questions?
I have a question for me or Becky.
Someone in your school fell asleep on the toilet. I don't believe it. Let's see. Well, what's your top 3 favorite video games of all time?
Number 1 is Sonic. I love Sonic growing up. That's my favorite.
John, we gotta hook up, dude. We gotta hook up sometime, man.
Number 1 is definitely Sonic. Number 2 would have to be Doom.
Sorry, K-Dog. I fell asleep at the Jags versus Bills playoff game.
I think everybody did.
K-Dog, please, bro.
I think everybody fell asleep at that.
So you said Sonic?
Sonic's number 1.
Okay.
Doom is number 2.
Doom? Okay.
Yes, the original Doom on PlayStation. And number 3 would be this game on GameCube. It was like this motorcycle racing game.
Mm-hmm.
It was like super cool. I can't remember the name of it because it's so long, but it was an awesome game.
Baker, would you rather live with Gronk or Mitch for 5 years? God, for 5 years? Why is it gotta be 5 years? I don't think I could handle Gronk for 5 years, dude, because he would just be like, I drunk, I go to bathroom. Like, I would just be tired of, like, how he sounded. He would just be such a meathead. I think I'd have to choose Mitch. And he would just be like, yo, man, Baker, read my last comment. I'd be like, oh, I don't know. That might be kind of annoying, too.
Wait, what was the last comment?
Repeat my last comment. All right, so John asks, what is your opinion of Ohio? He doesn't have a PC, so...
I've never been...
Console.
I mean, I love it up here. When I move up here, I don't know. I mean, I haven't even been downtown yet, so, like, I haven't seen all of Cleveland yet. Sandusky's a really nice place where Cedar Point is. Like, it's on an island. It's beautiful. Like, every ride you see the water. But am I so far? I like Ohio. It's pretty nice.
Mitch is too annoying. I know, dude. What is the worst thing I did as a teenager? Ooh. I'll tell you the worst thing I did, and again, it's not
I
even.
Plead the fifth on that one.
It's not actually a bad thing, but it is probably one of the dumbest things I ever did as a teenager. So I'd consider that the worst. You know what? That brings back to the question about the most embarrassing thing. Now that just triggered that question, so it would be the dumbest, the worst, the most embarrassing thing I ever did as and it was definitely a teenager because I could drive. So I got kind of peer pressured in a sense. I mean, it didn't really take that much, but so it was snowing. It was, I don't know, sometime in the winter. And I was driving around with one of my friends in my 1986 Honda Accord. Oh boy, who remembers those? No one here. That was my first car. Was an '86 Honda Accord. So we were driving around, and we were trying to get from one road and so on to another road and so on. And we knew that there was a way to cut through. This area where these schools were at, where you could get to the other road. Well, you couldn't really see anything over there because the whole thing was covered. And my friend's like, well, he's like, just cut through the baseball field that's there. Well, I mean, this thing was like caked with snow, and I was like, okay. And I was like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if we're gonna be able to get through that. And he's like, oh yeah, it'll be fine. And I was like, all right, man. And then so we started driving through the middle of this baseball diamond with snow, and my car got stuck in it. And then and again, like this is how I dealt with things as a kid. So I went home that night. We walked home, and like he had someone come pick him up. I walked home, and then like I went to bed. Like I didn't say anything to anyone because I was like completely embarrassed by that. Of course you should be, right? And the next day, like in the morning, there was like someone police knocking on the door, and they were like, "We found like some car of yours sitting in the middle of the field at like one of the middle schools or whatever." And so that was probably like the most bad or annoying or sorry, embarrassing thing that I think I've ever done like in my entire life. That was pretty embarrassing, I'd have to say. And I remember the cops were even like, well, you should go talk to the principal on Monday and ask them, like, is there anything that you think you need to do to, like, help fix it up or something like that or whatever. So, Baker, would you rather smash all the Kardashian sisters, but your father stares at you, or be a Steelers fan for a year and always wear a Benny jersey? Honestly, I don't know. I think number one would be fine. Anyways, let's see. Would you rather live with Johnny Manziel or Josh Gordon for a year? Definitely Josh Gordon. I would have a problem living with him for a year. He's clean, man. Buddy asked, would you rather eat fried chicken or pizza for a year? Ugh. Neither of them sound particularly good, especially for a whole year. Ugh. I mean, chicken is better for you, so at least you could peel off the fried part of it, I guess. But still, that's just gross. Can I vlog Vulcans at Browns next year? No, not likely. I mean, unless you mean like do reactions, but no, probably not.
Skip my question.
What was your question?
What has been your favorite part about me being up here in Ohio?
Oh, okay. I would say just the idea of being able to actually meet with someone from the stream. Like I just thought that would be. I thought it was a cool idea to actually have an opportunity to meet with someone, or at least meet with people from the stream that were of age and could, actually make the trip up here. I just thought like that was pretty cool to actually be able to meet someone, a fan, a subscriber, IRL. And not just always be behind the computer. Although I've always felt like, I've known you guys, because we talk and we've seen each other's faces and all that stuff before. So it's kind of just like, hey, friend, come on up.
Yeah.
Almost like Kim and Holly. Wow, okay.
Has Preston pissed you off since he's been up here?
Has Preston pissed me off?
Yeah, has he made you mad
no,
at
I
any
don't.
point?
I don't think. No, not mad. No. No.
That's good.
Will Preston ever realize he is Marcus and Marcus is Preston? What? Okay. Preston and Gamer try to come to Philly for Eagles opener. Oh, against Falcons.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, I have a better chance of making that possible, but like I said, I'd have to take off that Thursday and Friday before the thing. I want to do it. I think that would be fun.
Well, I think the Eagles are supposed to play the Browns in week 3 of preseason next month, so they're playing at First Energy. So.
Rip NASCAR's pathetic and retarded fan base. Luke, what again? What again, dude?
Wait, what?
Good night, guys. Wow, really? That's how you end?
Oh, the Xfinity race must have been bad tonight.
Oh. Well, he said retarded fan base, though. I don't know. Get to wear your Foles jersey. Baker, would you rather be a mega annoying Tom Brady or fan or a Joe Flacco supporter? Neither, dude. Like
I'm a Tom Brady fan, and I'm not mega annoying. Well, maybe.
Hold on, I need more coffee. Why do you need coffee? Okay, so let's see. Other questions. What is... Oh, I guess what is some of your favorite movies?
I'm more into like comic book movies. I would say like the whole Marvel Studios series has been good. Definitely love the Underworld series. Let's see what else. Matrix series is pretty good. The only series I really don't like is Lord of the Rings. It's like really the only series. Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, those are the worst series in my opinion.
Okay.
But other than that, I'll watch anything. I even watch black and white movies.
Okay. John. That's why I was trying not to talk over him in case he talked. But you saw my like what? What do you mean? Because John asked Preston, "Are there any hosts in Baker's house?" Then he said ghosts.
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like something's watching me, but there's nothing here.
Oh, he says, Preston, I'm not pissed about the ending, but everyone else is because they can't read a damn rule book.
What's he talking about?
The NASCAR race.
Oh. What? They threw the caution on the checker flag, the white flag, when they weren't supposed to or something?
What's the
I didn't get to watch it because I've been doing this. So.
What's the most illegal thing you've done?
Plead the fifth. I cannot answer that.
Damn, dude. What the dude, we gotta dig into this history here at some point.
No,
not on stream. No.
Yeah.
The most illegal thing, I don't know that I've ever really done anything illegal. I guess the closest to illegal is speeding. That's illegal. So I mean, I've had multiple speeding tickets. I actually got one on the way back from Cedar Point this weekend. So
I was
for this
waiting
week.
to bring it
So,
up, so I was like, he's gonna bring in the
so
one.
that's the most illegal thing that I've done, I guess I'd have to say, in my lifetime is speeding, and I'm a habitual speeder.
Did you ever find out how much the ticket was?
No, I didn't look yet. I need to, though, actually. Then Amon says second most illegal thing. Like, sorry, I don't have to plead the fifth again.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, my mom would tell you some of the stuff I've done, and it's like, wow.
Do a house tour? I can't, dude. I'm on my webcam on my PC, and I've done house tours before.
Any more questions?
What's one of your favorite Xbox One games?
Not named The Division. Probably Destiny. I like Destiny. I've been playing on it a little bit.
Okay.
I want to get Destiny 2, but now they're coming out with like the second part of Destiny 2, so now that's like, why even bother playing Destiny anymore?
Okay. JJ, dude. Yeah, I know notifications, man. YouTube is screwing me with notifications. Watch, honestly, I'm kind of worried. This is my inner thought coming out right now. I'm kind of worried about when YouTube does fix notifications, because I feel like all of a sudden people are going to start getting all these notifications. Oh, this person's live. And then they're going to be like, why the hell am I even subscribed to this person? Unsub. Like, I don't even know this guy. I don't remember ever subbing to him. Like, honestly, I feel like...
Yeah, we'll definitely fall below 6,000.
It could actually cause more harm than help, potentially, if they fix notifications. Your mom says it's really nobody's damn business. But mom, we're having a Q&A session. We're trying to figure out things about myself and your son. So it's all in good fun.
Yeah, Mom, don't take it too hard.
Preston, Halo or Gears of War?
Never played Gears of War, so Halo.
But Preston saw some other people playing Gears of War in the movie that we watched the other day called Noobs. If you haven't seen the movie Noobs, it's pretty funny. It's like I said, you got to have like a gamer kind of mentality to it. It's kind of that way in a sense, but it's not as much about the gaming as it is about people who game in their relationships.
And I predicted the ending. I was like, somebody's going to screw somebody, and that's what happened.
Yeah. The hell are you talking about, K-Dog? I prefer Halo. I mean, I didn't give up on Halo as I did Gears of War. Halo, I at least played through 1 through 3, and I was a big Halo fan. I loved playing their online multiplayer. I played it in Halo 2 and Halo 3 a lot. I thought I was like to the point where I was really good, but once Halo 3 was done and they kind of made it seem like the story was over, and then they came back with Halo 4 and they did ODST and all those other stupid offshoots, I was mentally checked out from Halo. But for Gears of War, I played the first one, and I never really played like the other ones. But I like the idea of Gears of War is pretty cool. I mean, I like the storyline in the first one. It's a very difficult and challenging game for sure. Yeah, I gave Halo gave me a better run for my money and was more interesting to me.
Will you play Halo 6 when it comes out?
I didn't even finish Halo 5. But so let's see. John asked, favorite wrestler, Undertaker or Hulk Hogan?
Neither. My favorite wrestlers have always been The Rock and Stone Cold.
How about what's a memorable, or I guess one of your most memorable or thought of, or moment that you can recall like almost instantly about like your time or during your time watching WWE or WWF, whatever you want to call it.
WrestleMania 17, Stone Cold versus The Rock. Stone Cold turns heel and aligns himself with Vince McMahon.
Okay. He says, boo, newbie. What the? Wow. So for me, favorite wrestler, I would have to say it would have been Hulk Hogan, only because of the fact that, and this is like before like WCW Hulk Hogan, so I'll put it that way.
Like WCW Hulk
I thought like anytime before then, like Hulk Hogan was fine, and then once he went to WCW, then his career was like in the dump. But but I felt like prior to that, like just because of him being a super baby face, like and just the things that he was able to accomplish in his career there before leaving, like I thought it was good. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I don't like the Undertaker, but I like even when he had the streak going at WrestleMania, I remember like I would always bitch at one of my friends who really liked the Undertaker, and I was just like, dude. I'm like, this is just getting old and boring to me. Like, I was like, this thing's got to end. Or I would always root against him just because I knew the one guy was rooting for him. And it was just kind of, like, just a fun thing. But
and yes, I absolutely hated that Brock Lesnar ended it. Like, if they were going to end it, they should have had somebody young, like maybe CM Punk or somebody, like younger than that ended, not Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. Let's see. Baker, dude, I don't know what the hell are you talking about. Ndamukong Suh or OBJ? What the hell? I would stay with OBJ because Ndamukong Suh will probably like find a way to cheap shot me. Let's see. Oh, I was gonna say my one of my most memorable moments in WWE was when the segment, because mine are always just about segments and how well they go over with the fans. And one of my favorites by far was when after WWE had bought WCW, and it was the segment where The Rock was in the ring, and then like Chris Jericho's entrance music hit, and they had that huge exchange, and Rock was like, "Who the hell are you?" And it was a phenomenal exchange between two guys that are very witty and just great on the mic. It was like by far like one of the most favorite ones. And then I would say my second most favorite one was, I don't even think the other guy was in the ring, but another one with The Rock, where he was talking all this trash about Billy Gunn. He's like, "Oh, the heavens parted," and then piss rolled down Billy Gunn's leg. I mean, just the dude was like going crazy with that shit. Like that, to me, those are like the most like phenomenal like moments. And
The Rock was definitely one of the best on the mic.
Yeah. Have you ever met or seen a famous person in person?
Yes. And I geeked out.
Well, who was it?
I met one of my favorite basketball players when I was growing up. It wasn't Michael Jordan. It was Ben Wallace. He used to play for the Detroit Pistons.
Mm-hmm.
My friend helped run his summer league in Richmond. So I was living at my group home at the time. So he's like, "Hey, you want to go meet a basketball player? I'm playing the summer league this weekend. You want to come watch?" Okay. Takes me out there. I'm like, "Who's that dude right there?" I'm like, I recognize him. And this was like right after they had won the NBA championship that year. I was like, "Oh my God, that's Ben Wallace." I walked up to him. I was like, "Dude, I'm a big fan of yours." He's like, "Yeah, I heard a lot about you." I'm like, what? Well, yeah, Ben Wallace was cool.
Your mom says her favorite wrestlers were Ricky Steamboat and Jay Youngblood.
Yes, Mom always loved Ricky Steamboat.
Let's see. Warrior versus Hogan, one of the best matches ever.
Well, I wasn't around for that. So.
I would say, yeah, WrestleMania. That's the thing. Like for me, wrestling was anything like prior to WrestleMania 10. Like that's like for me when I want to go back and watch what I consider a good wrestling match is like I go back to older WrestleManias. Like WrestleMania, I think it was WrestleMania 9. Was it 9? I think I'm outdating myself. Maybe it was 7.
I'm gonna have to let you watch 17. 17 was like,
yeah, I mean I saw that though. I saw it, but like so like for me it was like about like they had that match. They had WrestleMania 17, but that was kind of like rushed, and it was just like it was kind of obvious like what they were gonna do, but like seeing like two of the like the biggest baby faces of the company like go against each other and like this extravagant matchup like at WrestleMania 6 where it was title versus title on the line, and whoever won held Intercontinental and World Wrestling Federation Championship title. Like you don't see stuff like that anymore. Jericho was the only other person to do something similar to that. Where they captured both titles, but he was undisputed champ. But like that, and like John, you may remember like Randy Savage versus Ultimate Warrior in the career-ending match, like by far one of the best matches like in ever.
But WrestleMania 17 also had the first tables, ladders, and chairs match.
Yeah.
Which was freaking epic. Like Edge and Christian versus the Hardy Boys versus the Dudley Boys. That match was like insane.
Who is the radioactive? Oh, you're a Seahawks fan. Okay, what's up? Seahawks dude, mug this stuff up. Okay. What's up? Seahawks fan in this mug.
One of the best, I would say I'll give you my top 3 on the mic, like all time as far as like that goes.
Mm-hmm.
Rock would be number 1. CM Punk would be number 2. And honestly, John Cena would be number 3. John Cena is really good on the mic.
Which wrestler had the most embarrassing? Let's say, keep it limited. Which WWE wrestler has had or had the most embarrassing career in your opinion?
That's hard. Because there's been some pretty bad ones.
There's one that comes to mind for me.
In all honesty, Roman Reigns, the way they've built him since he left the Shield.
Roman Reigns, like, come on, you've got to have seen worse careers.
I mean, it's just the way they've built him. Like, okay, fine. I'm trying to think. Like,
mine would be Heidenreich. I just thought, like, by far, like, it was his career just went.
No. What was his name? Oh shoot, not Heidenreich, but what the heck was the dude's name? They were gonna have him fight like Undertaker at WrestleMania, and like he did some stupid shit, and he got fired from the company or something. He was like the dude who thought he was God.
Oh, Mordecai.
Yeah, Mordecai.
Yeah, Mordecai. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because he was supposed to face Undertaker, and then he did some stupid shit, got fired from the company.
Yeah. What's one of the most like ridiculous like moments in WWE history? Well, I would say maybe let's say like I don't know, a couple, I guess, or whatever. I guess how many ever you can think of. Like, what do you think are like some of the most like ridiculous moments that you've ever seen?
Edge and Lita when they did the sex shit scene in the bed, that was.
Yeah, that was a little freaky, a little weird.
One of the most insane spots I think I've ever seen in a WWE ring was when it happened. There was 2 things that happened in this match. When Undertaker threw Mankind off of the top of the Hell in a Cell.
Yep.
Then when he powerbombed him through the Hell in a Cell.
Right.
In the same match, and they thought Mankind was dead.
Yeah. Yeah, I always remember JR's like, oh my God, they killed him. It's like, wow, dude, like
because the cell wasn't supposed to break.
Yeah. And that was back when like commentators were really good at selling like what was happening in the ring instead of just like, oh, okay, he puts him on this hold, he puts him in that hold, okay, Irish whip.
Definitely one of the best of all time at.
Yeah, between him and Jerry Lawler, they were.
It's Stone Cold.
Yeah, Stone Cold, Stone Cold, Stone Cold. I think, I would say like definitely the whole Undertaker Mankind situation. That was King of the Ring, 1998. For anyone who wants to go back and watch it on WWE Network, it just $9.99 a month right now. So and get your first month free. But one of the other ones I remember that stands out to me the most was the one. I think it was a TLC match, or just a ladder match, one or the other. But it was the tag team ladder match where they had Joey Mercury and Johnny Nitro in there, and that one It was one of the Hardys or someone had like jumped off and sprung the ladder into Joey, I think it was Johnny Nitro's face, and in his face is just gushing blood, and they literally had to take him back to the locker room right away. Like he just had like blood like everywhere, and that was not like some dude blading. He legit got smacked in the face by that ladder and had to have a bunch of stitches in his face. That was just nasty.
One of the saddest moments in WWE. Like they didn't show it on TV, so
yeah,
it was when Owen Hart died. That was very sad.
Jim Ross with his barbecue, right? He does have his
that sauce
barbecue.
Is awesome, man. Y'all need to try that sauce. His barbecue sauce is good.
Baker, if you could make a sport, how would it go and what would it be called? I would kind of piggyback off of. No, I don't know if I would do that, but just to be funny, I'll say I would just piggyback off of what they did in South Park, where Randy Marsh came up with Sarcastaball. Where it was like you got to see how nice you can beat your opponents, and no one's allowed to hit each other, and instead of a football we're going to use a balloon. Ventura was a good commentator. I mean, he wasn't too bad, although I thought Vince McMahon, when he was a commentator, he was actually really good. I thought McMahon was good on the mic. I thought Bobby the Brain Heenan was pretty good on the mic. He was like before you had Jerry Lawler on the mic, you had Bobby the Brain Heenan, and Bobby the Brain Heenan did he was like an extreme color commentator. Like he was one of those people that just pushed things to the edge, like as close to the edge as he could possibly get him for his time, and so I think helped create a commentator like Jerry the King Lawler, for example. And kind of led that way, but like literally there's no one that follows in those footsteps anymore, which is kind of unfortunate. You don't have anyone who's willing to take it to the negative extreme and just be like, it's, I don't know, like I think everyone these days is very unbiased, and they're just kind of like, they're supposed to be good and then sometimes kind of make, odd comments, but you don't really have that guy anymore. Now Michael Cole's far from that. He's supposed to be like the guy agrees with all the faces and stuff like that, whereas like Bobby the Brain Heenan would be like, oh yeah, I agree with this heel wrestler because all these stupid idiot moron fans, and this guy's like sleeping with his mom probably or something. He would just like say the most outlandish stuff, and it was just like, it was funny, but and you just don't have that anymore. Now his stuff was also a bit racy at times too, but that was because you could get away with it back in those times. So, but still, you could still have something like that, but not exactly like that nowadays. You're making me and you feel like we are 50. Yeah. Viscera. What about Viscera? What the hell?
Oh, God.
You like John Cena with the 2008 Royal Rumble? Which one was that? Was that the one where he came back early from his surgery or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What other questions do we have? What's your favorite tag team of all time in WWE? Assume we'll limit it to that.
Hardy Boys.
Hardy Boys, okay. What was one of your favorite tag team maneuvers in WWE?
The 3D, of course. 3D through the table.
I kind of like that would probably be one of my top ones, but I think my first one would be the "What's up?" Like that's got to be the most hilarious tag team maneuver like that you've ever seen.
That and a 3D through the table.
Yeah. Demolition. Oh, you remember Demolition? Theirs was kind of unique, but it was kind of like meh. I mean, yeah, the one dude would like put him up. He would set him up on his leg, and the other dude would elbow off the middle turnbuckle or whatever. Like, who was your favorite technical wrestler in WWE?
Chris Benoit.
Okay.
Now it's Daniel Bryan, but back then it was Chris Benoit.
Chris Benoit, yeah. You like the uniforms? Oh well, I mean, yeah, but they were kind of modeling after the band Kiss, right? I mean, they look like Kiss fans.
Pretty much.
Or the band.
I also like Legion of Doom. They were a good tag team.
The Masks were badass, I guess. I mean,
Legion of Doom,
I get it.
was cool.
Yeah, Legion of Doom was kind of. I think Legion of Doom was probably better. I think Demolition. Now, Demolition may have been around before I started really watching wrestling, so I don't really know. I just remember Legion of Doom being like the tag team to beat at the time, and you had like teams like God, Power and Glory and the Barbarian and some other dude. Like you just had these weird ass tag teams at the time. Like I remember actually Power and Glory had a pretty good finishing maneuver too. It was kind of basic, but it was pretty cool because I remember one dude would like he would get on the top rope and superplex someone off, and then the other dude would be on the other turnbuckle and he would like do a flying like a frog splash basically off the top one after the other dude came down. I thought that was like a pretty creative tag team finishing maneuver back in the day. I always thought that was cool. Kane and Undertaker, Team Hell No. But those are more current. I mean, I guess maybe for you that's probably more of your generation of stuff. But I just feel like the stuff they do nowadays and DX. I mean, DX was a good, you know, it was basically the NWO of WWE though. So I mean, the Rockets. Are you talking about the Rockers with Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty? I'm pretty sure that's who you're referring to. The Rockers. I just remember yeah, I remember Shawn Michaels super kicking Marty Jannetty through the barbershop window. Like that day will always live in my mind. And the other day would that always live in my mind? Shit, this should have been in my top like most like memorable moments in history was when Undertaker put Ultimate Warrior in a casket and closed him in it on live television. Well, live television. Back on Superstars like in the 90s, and like I literally thought like he was killing the Ultimate Warrior. I was so freaked out by that when I saw that.
That reminds me of this moment. This totally freaked me out. Like I was on the websites and everything because I thought it was real. When Vince McMahon's limousine exploded.
Yes, that's true too. Yeah, that was good. That was a good one.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, they couldn't continue the storyline because Chris Benoit passed away like the day after.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. Because he killed his whole family. Just killed his whole family.
There's conspiracy theories behind that, so.
Yeah. Evolution. Dude, come on, JJ. You're just naming random teams. Like, Evolution was like, meh. Meh.
Do you believe in conspiracy theories?
It was a cornerstone it was a cornerstone in helping build like some like Randy Orton's career, for example, and Batista's. It was a cornerstone to help build those guys up. But I mean, them as a tag team was kind of meh. It was just another stable because they were big on stables. Like they used to be big on stables way back when, and then they just kind of stopped with stables altogether. You don't really see that anymore. John says Star Wars or Star Trek.
Star Wars.
I say neither. Evolution was great, I guess.
Evolution was
the only thing I remember about Evolution was like when Batista won the title, thumbs up, thumbs down. When Triple H gave him a thumbs down, and it was Batista did that to Randy Orton. That's right. They did a thumbs up and a thumbs down. And that's when they eliminated Randy Orton from Evolution.
Like a couple months later, remember they had a contract for Raw and SmackDown. Batista had to choose one, and he had the SmackDown one, and he did like this. They did the same thing.
Yeah, and he carried that stupid thing for so long, and it was so dumb. It was like the most retarded thing because it just got old real quick. It was funny for that segment, but then it just became like a thing. John says Coke or Pepsi.
Neither. Dr. Pepper.
I say Coke. I love Coke, especially with lemon. If you put lemon in, put a piece of lemon, like I'm talking about a lemon wedge, not like some slice of lemon. Put a lemon wedge inside your Coke, or actually squeeze it in there first. Put the whole lemon in there, mix that thing up, and it tastes phenomenal.
But yeah, I'm more of a Dr. Pepper person. But yeah.
What do you think of that guy who does the Dr. Pepper commercials?
He's the sweet.
God, that guy's so weird. That is just like the weirdest thing. Oh, look, our entertainment's here. Like, what the hell? Like, where do they come up with these commercials? So weird.
I got one for you. Doritos or Fritos?
I'd probably say Doritos. Fritos kind of have some weird, like, taste to me. Like, after a while, they just kind of taste meh. I think it's the corn kind of taste to it.
That's not a good one. Laser Pringles.
Nah, it's still Doritos. Like, I've never really... Pringles were okay, but I usually just prefer Doritos. Like usually it would be like I like sour cream ones, the sour cream and Doritos that they had, or yeah, I think it was sour cream, or maybe it was ranch. I don't know, one of those two. But I don't really eat them that much, so probably that could have been what it was. Cool Ranch and but like for chips, if I eat chips, I love. It's got to be salt and vinegar chips. Oh, those are freaking amazing. Oh,
sour cream, onion, and salt and vinegar.
Baker, how did you get fat? What do you mean? What do you mean? What did you eat to get that fat? What are you talking about, dude? Doritos.
Gamer, why are you so skinny? How did you get so skinny, Gamer?
He's not skinny. He's just mad because he's fat fuck anyways. No internet or no vehicles.
Oh God. No vehicles.
But it doesn't matter to him because he doesn't drive. No so
I win.
Yeah, I would say I don't know, man. That's a tough one. I would kind of say no vehicles, but it's not a reasonable question because you need both.
Yeah.
I mean, technically you don't need internet, technically, but you know, Gremlins or Critters. I've never heard of Critters though. Like, have you ever?
Now, if you say Gremlins or Tremors, I would still say Gremlins.
Oh, Tremors! I remember Tremors. That's a good movie. Yeah. I like Tremors.
You have blue eyes, blonde hair.
Kevin Bacon. What? Okay. What about like what's your favorite like series of? It has to be a series that is of like some type of scary movie. Like Friday the 13th, or those kinds of things. Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street, those. Saw.
Paranormal Activity.
Okay. Critters were from out of space. What? Okay, that just sounds weird to me, John. Have
you ever watched
John, have you ever seen the movie Birds? Have you ever seen that movie?
Yes. My mom made me watch it one time.
That's an awesome movie. We actually watched that in school one time.
I was like, one day I was walking to school. It's like I saw birds starting to get up on the. I was like, oh shit, it's about to go down.
Freddy Krueger or Jason?
Jason.
Yeah, I'd say Jason's probably seems much scarier to me. Yeah. Just some dude like just who can catch up to you at any point in time, and is just in a hockey mask and he just walks. Like, that's awesome. Like, that's just total badass.
Run a mile and he's like right there.
And I'll tell you this. Remember, they settled that matchup in Freddy vs. Jason, and you have to go watch it to find out who won. If you never saw the movie before. No, I mean, they pretty much did. I mean...
Because, I mean...
I saw the end, but they still did. They pretty much did. It was pretty much over.
I think they would have made a second one. But
unless a certain someone's... body part somehow managed to live on its own.
I would have been.
I'm not sure. Let's see. Will you leave? Gamer, shut up. You're so stupid.
Chucky or Annabelle? I don't know if you know who Annabelle is.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I seen Chucky like from Child's Play, but JJ, you weren't supposed to. You were supposed to give it away to anyone who hadn't seen it, dude. That was the reason why I didn't specifically say what happened. All right.
So old though. I don't know who hasn't seen it yet.
Yeah, I know.
Actually, no. My favorite
Michael Myers or Jason? Jason.
My favorite series right now is The Purge. I love The Purge series.
Mm-hmm. Who did not watch it? I don't know. They're asking. I don't know. Who didn't watch Freddy vs. Jason yet?
Movie's old as...
All right. I don't know about you, but I think I'm good for now. I think I'm good. Good with the questions. It's been 2 hours, so I didn't think it would last nearly that long. Luke's gonna have fun time watching this back. He's gonna be like, 2 hours. F that. I'm not watching this back.
What about? I got one more question. Favorite superhero.
Favorite superhero. Captain Planet. No, I'm just playing. I would have to say, I don't know. Like, for some reason, I always dug like Spider-Man. I don't know why. Like, I just thought like the whole web stuff was cool, and you know, trap guys and swing around and, you know, that kind of stuff. Like, I always thought that was kind of cool. Like, Superman was fun too, but I just kind of, I don't know. Like, I felt like Spider-Man's always kind of been a favorite of mine, but
I've always liked Deadpool.
yeah, but that's not even that old.
The Merc with a mouth.
That's like 5 years old or less, right? I mean, or something.
If we're going old, then I would say...
Remember, I grew up, I mean, you didn't grow up with
Thor.
Deadpool.
Thor
You grew up with someone different.
Thor would be... I grew up with Thor mostly.
Okay. Baker, when did...
And I loved TMNT when I was growing up.
Gamers, shut up. You're so stupid.
I don't know what kids didn't like TMNT when they were growing up. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
And you see, like, now you have, like, anywhere, I have certain Ninja Turtle shirts I wear, and I see kids walking around wearing the same shirt.
Yeah.
And I actually got one for, like, I'm like, oh, I'll wear this to bed. But then, like, kids are wearing that crap out in public. And I'm just like, really? Like, I was a Ninja Turtle fan before you.
Pretty good on Nickelodeon. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, but see, I can't get into those. Like, the way the characters look and they're just, the voices are different. They just look so much different that it's just like, meh. Like, I mean, I've watched it, but I wasn't really super impressed with it. You love those movies? Oh, I have them all on Blu-ray, dude. All the Ninja Turtle movies.
Good night, guys.
Yeah, those are good. The show's terrible. No, the show was not terrible. What are you talking about?
Who said the show was terrible?
JJ did. The show was awesome, dude. What are you talking about?
If I could come through this...
Come on. You remember the beginning of the show where they'd have like all the stuff going on and then they would cut to the intro and that's where you would like lose your effing mind because then you see like the sewer explode and you have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and you'd be like, yes, I'm gonna kill someone. No, I mean that was just getting you so freaking amped, man. Like the intro was sweet.
I had all the plushies when I was growing up too.
Damn. Like the characters are sweet. I love playing. I had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game on NES. Man, one of my favorite games. Like that I used to play like on Nintendo back in the day.
Yeah.
The original Ninja Turtles. Like man, those games. I mean, original one was kind of dumb, but the arcade game was like awesome. It was so awesome. But yeah, I loved everything Ninja Turtles related back then. I even had a Ninja Turtles. I had a Ninja Turtles cassette tape that had like songs from Ninja Turtles that had like old songs. Again, this is in the 90s. And then I even had the soundtrack from Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze where you have like the Vanilla Ice rap, Go Ninja, go Ninja, go. Like it has that song on there and all that. Dude, it was awesome, dude. Like everything about Ninja Turtles was sweet.
What about Pokemon or Digimon?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comics were good. I never actually read any Ninja Turtle comics.
Pokemon or Digimon?
Neither. How about Chimpokomon? You remember that from South Park?
Yeah.
You go bomb Pearl Harbor. You know, it's like fulfill the master plan. All right, guys. All right, thanks, dudes. Everyone who stopped by tonight. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the Q&A with us. We'll do this again sometime in the future, probably. Maybe when some other sub comes up here, they can come interview me, and we can interview each other. But thanks, guys. I appreciate all the good questions. Your questions at least pushed us through an hour, and then the rest was just kind of whatever. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it very much. Thanks for Preston for asking the questions. And, you know, again, like I said, I appreciate your guys' questions greatly. We will see you guys tomorrow. So tomorrow night, guys, we're going to be doing the fireworks and stuff. So that's probably what the stream's going to be tomorrow, most likely. So that'll be later tomorrow night. So look out for the stream starting sometime around, like, I would say 9:30, 10-ish, something like that. So yeah, so look forward to that. And until next time, guys, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.